Starting off today, though, with the Green Bay Packers getting a last second victory over the 49ers on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, so this was a great game between two great teams, and really what this one came down to was just, I guess you could call it bad coaching, bad clock management at the end of the game. To be fair, most teams, if you lead them with 30 seconds left and they're down, just a short amount of points, it's not going to be a game over for you, but you're dealing with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, and that is what ends up killing them. So Rodgers goes off 261 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones rushes for 82 yards and a touchdown. Davante Adams gets 18 targets, brings in 12 of those for 132 yards, adds a touchdown as well. Marquez Valdez-Scantling gets 57 yards and another touchdown. And then, of course, Mason Crosby drills a field goal at the very end of the game as time is kind of going out, and they win 28-27. Green Bay, as I just mentioned, got the ball back with just 37 seconds remaining in the game. And the extra kicker here is that they didn't have any timeouts either. So this was just 30 seconds to get down there and get it done. Notable defensive things here for the Packers. Devondre Campbell gets a Jimmy G fumble, and Jaire Alexander got a pick. For the Niners, they played a good game. Jimmy G goes off 257 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 1 fumble, though. Trey Lance, the rookie, comes out, rushes for a 1 yard touchdown, and does not come out ever again. So, his touchdown was useful, but I feel like they probably could have gotten a little more out of him. But I think they're still kind of balancing between the Jimmy G and Trey Lance game. Trey Sermon comes out, rushes for 31 yards, gets himself a touchdown. George Kittle and Deebo Samuel lead the San Francisco receivers with 92 and 52 yards, respectively, while Brandon Ayuk and Kyle Juszczyk both bring in 37 yards and a touchdown. They essentially look like they played the exact same game. And then the Niners don't really get any picks, anything like that. And they have no field goal attempts. And like I said, they played a good game. There were definitely times where it looked like they were trying to fumble the game away, like literally when Jimmy fumbled the ball straight to the Packers. But I think in the end, what happens is that they just scored too fast. They should have probably eaten up a little bit more time and then got in that end zone. But, it is what it is. It's hard to blame a team for scoring. It's just more so the time management. When you know you're playing against someone with the passing ability like Aaron Rodgers and somebody with the receiving ability like Davante Adams. And then it's not like their kicker is buns either. Mason Crosby is pretty good. So I think they just kind of set themselves up for failure at the very, very end by leaving just a little too much time on the clock. And it sounds weird to say when it's 37 seconds and no timeouts, but it is what it is. We've seen this before with the Packers. We know that they're good at being quick to get things done when they need to. And yeah, that's just what happened in this game.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack for this game. First off, I will talk about the refs. There weren't a whole lot of penalties in this game. There were 7 on the Packers, 4 on the 49ers. They both had about the same amount of yardage penalty wise, but some of the calls were kind of bad and lack of calls were bad as well because the main thing I would go to is the Davante Adams play where he looked like he possibly could have gotten a concussion. He gets hit straight on. Looked like he got knocked out, and they don't call anything there, so that's a little confusing. You'll see they call it a rare tripping penalty. It's something you don't really see ever in the NFL, but they called one. It was tripping, but it was just kind of like, all right, this is kind of weird. For the 49ers, I think the last drive for them, they were going great. They were able to get down the field pretty easily against the Packers defense. And at some point, I was saying, watching the game, like, hey, if you're the Packers at this point, you can't stop these guys. You might as well just let them go ahead and score and get the ball with as much time as possible. Now, the 49ers, they had to get a touchdown. So it's not as if they could have run down the clock and just kept running the ball, kicked the field goal. They needed a touchdown to win this game. And they ended up going up by 1 after they scored that touchdown, leaving 37 seconds. And I would never doubt Aaron Rodgers, but considering that they didn't have any timeouts left because of mismanagement with the timeouts earlier, and 37 seconds is not a huge amount of time. So again, we can't really fault the 49ers for scoring. They had to do it. You can't really tell Kyle Juszczyk to just say, I'm not going to score here, but his instincts are, let me get a touchdown. We're trying to win. So not really faulting them. But 37 seconds and no timeouts is pretty much no challenge for Aaron Rodgers, apparently. He went down the field, few passes to Devontae Adams, and it was real simple. Spikes the ball, gets it to Mason Crosby, kicks that field goal, and they win. I mean, that's pretty much vintage Aaron Rodgers right there. That is what you expect from him, and especially after a lot of the adversity earlier in the season. Week one getting thrashed by the Saints, and then having to do a game against the Lions, but not getting a lot of a lot of praise because people are saying, you should be able to beat the Lions easily. This is expected. You shouldn't get a pat on the back for this one. A lot of people think that Aaron just like didn't care, or he's passive aggressive or whatever. I think Aaron's just chill, and it's just kind of his personality. And as long as he wins, I don't think it really matters because after this game Monday morning, everybody's acting like he's the greatest person to ever step on planet Earth, right? As opposed to 2 weeks ago, they were calling him, washed garbage. The Packers should get rid of him. Some people saying, "Oh, he's doing this on purpose." That's why we try to not overreact to things on this show because it's a week to week type of league. I mean, one week you can be at the top of the world, next week you're at the bottom. So we're not going to overreact to anything that happens. We'll just take it week to week and respond to what happens each week for what it is. But early in this game, the Packers look like they're going to run away with it until that Trey Lance touchdown. And I'm kind of surprised with the defense on that one. It didn't kill them in the end, obviously, because they won. But if you bring Trey Lance in after you have Jimmy G down in a goal-to-go situation for inside the 10, inside the 20 for so many plays, and then you finally bring in Trey Lance, it's kind of obvious that Trey Lance is going to do something with the ball himself. So for him to just run in for the touchdown so easily was kind of surprising. But the only two turnovers in this game were forced by the Green Bay defense. Jair Alexander with that amazing interception. I mean, he pretty much looked like he was the receiver on that play. And then Jimmy G's backwards pass, sort of spike, whatever that was supposed to be, ended up being a fumble regardless. That was a good pickup by the Green Bay defense. And I think that combined with the fact that they just have Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, despite getting that huge hit, being able to come back into the game, it was just a little bit too much for the Niners. But I wouldn't say that the Niners should be super upset after losing this one. Kind of just is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like we both said, they played a great game. And I thought about this while you're talking. I think there's, somewhere there's an alternate world where Kyle Juszczyk actually does stop and doesn't run in for the touchdown, and then somehow the Niners get stuffed and they lose because they didn't score at the end of the game, and then everyone fries him and the Niners because they don't end up scoring. So you can't blame the Niners at all for what happened. You definitely can't blame Kyle for wanting to get the touchdown. It's what you're supposed to do. Catch the ball, get to the other end zone. So it kind of sucks for them that Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers and is able to do what he's able to do. But yeah, it's you can't really be mad at them for what they did. And that call, or that lack of call for the hit on Devontae Adams, it was very surprising. They look like they tried to kill that man, and I mean he you can't not call that. Like obviously they didn't call it, but that's just stupid. Like there's no way around that one. So yeah, that interception by Jair Alexander was indeed very, very nice. That fumble thing that Jimmy G did, I was very confused by what he was attempting to do. Like I kind of understood what he was going for, but I guess maybe because he fumbled and the way he fumbled, the execution of it, it was just a very confusing play. And I definitely think that was probably pretty costly. But I do agree with you with the Trey Lance thing as well. If they bring Trey Lance in, then obviously they're probably going to do something with Trey Lance. So for him to be able to literally just like step in, it's a little confusing. I would have thought they'd have probably stopped him from doing that. But like you said, didn't cost them the game, and we ended up with a pretty crazy finish. And for those who think that Aaron Rodgers doesn't care to be there or is trying to throw the games, you should look at Rodgers' expressions and reactions after that kick went in. That was like pure raw like happy emotion. So I definitely think that he's there to win. He wants to win. He's not just trying to cruise through the season until he gets traded.
Yeah, so like we just said, I mean, any insinuation that Aaron doesn't care is just kind of ignorant to me. Um, Back to that Trey Lance touchdown. Trent Williams did get a pretty huge block on a Packers defender, but even so, like without the block, you should assume Trey Lance is coming in. He's going to run the ball, or he might do like a bootleg or something. You know, I just assume that Trey Lance is going to be doing something with the ball there. But again, it didn't really matter in the end. They still won the game. So I think Packers fans and the general, NFL fandom is like, all right, the Packers are kind of back on track again. First two games, not really telling me much. You lose that first one by so much. You beat the Lions. You come back, beat a team that should be good now that they are, well, not completely healthy because they've had injuries again this year, unfortunately, but a lot more healthy than they were last year. So it's not like San Francisco is a scrub team by any means. I think they could be good and compete in that very competitive NFC West. So Packers got a good win, and I think going forward, this is kind of what we'll see from the Packers.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Packers have kind of settled in and found their comfort zone for the season. And yeah, Niners not a bad team. They're healthier than they were last year, and we should also probably see some pretty good things from them this year. And that very tough division they're in.